Hello dear students, welcome back to this channel. I am CACS Yogitaharjani. In this video, we are going to be talking about the study plan that you will have to follow for your May or June 2022 examination for C exams as well as CS exams or CMA exams. In this video, we are going to be discussing a lot of important things. We are going to be discussing how many readings you should do, what kind of study material or other reference book you should use, whether you should do exam papers or not, how many readings you should do, how you should plan your day, how you should stay motivated, a lot of other questions also that you might be having. We are going to be addressing that in this video. Make sure you watch it till the end. It is really going to be beneficial for your examination. Now, if you're new to this channel, then make sure you subscribe to this channel. Every week, I'm posting multiple motivational content as well as revision lectures to help you study for your examination. Okay, now let's start off with the study plan. So, first things first, why do you even need to plan for your examination? Well, see, you have a massive, huge syllabus. You have so many subjects. Every subject has so many chapters, so many sections, so many questions, right? The syllabus is extremely vast, and all of these subjects are mostly brand new for you. You have never studied these before. Moreover, you have very limited time. You just have 3 months or 4 months. As of now, from January, you have 4 months remaining, right? Now, in this limited time, if you really want to master the subject, if you really want to pass the examination, you should have a strategy. If you do not have a strategy, then you will study as per your temperament. Some days when you have time, you might study for long hours. Some days you might not feel like, you might not study at all, right? Some days your friend is studying, so you might study. Some days your friend is busy with something else and you might also get distracted and do something else. And we know that in the examination, the result is low. Only 10% on an average people pass in the examination. If you want to be in those 10%, then you need to have a strategy. Okay, the best and the simplest strategy is to do exactly what anybody else who has passed the examination they have done. So I'm going to tell you the strategy that I have followed, that a lot of my mentorship students we all follow, and they have also cleared the examination. First of all, you need to fix a goal for yourself, right? So that means whether you want to be studying for one group, you want to pass one group, two groups, what is your strategy? Whether you're aiming for an all India rank, whether you want to aim for exemptions, it should be very clear in your mind what exactly do you want, right? Now this is very personal. Just because other people are aiming for all India ranks does not mean that you also should aim for all India rank, right? It might be an absolutely unrealistic and useless target for you, right? Whereas for some students, exemption is very, very important. For you, it might be possible that you just want to pass the examination. So you have to think, what do you exactly want? Okay, and accordingly decide whether you want to go for one group, both the groups, you want to aim for an all India rank, exemptions, etc. Another important factor that you have to consider is the time that you have, right? For a lot of the students, you might be already having some coaching that you have to attend for certain subjects. Okay, so that way your self study time is going to be reduced. For some of your students, you might be having kids. For some of you, you might be having jobs, right? So you might be having certain other personal commitments. So based on the time that is available for you, please go and decide these things, right? Let's aim for something that we can actually achieve. Okay, let's aim for something that is realistic for us. The next point is you have to decide the standard of performance you have to aim for. See, we should always aim for the moon. If not the moon, then at least we'll land up in the stars, right? So set a higher target for yourself, a target that is no doubt going to get you that passing result. No doubt it is going to get you the exemption that you're wanting, right? So let's try to set that kind of an aim. So I'll tell you the goal that I have set in all my examination, that all my mentees also try to set. So first of all, you have to try to complete 100% syllabus in every single subject. This is the first thing that you should be aiming for. Okay, now if you aim to complete 100% syllabus, then if not the 100% syllabus, at least you will end up completing 80% and 90% of the syllabus. The second thing is, let's try to complete 2 to 3 readings. See, in the school also, when you were in school or when you were in college, we used to have a semester examination, we used to have half yearly, quarterly examination, final examination. When multiple times we read the same subject, we learn it faster, we learn it better, we understand it better, right? Now in our CA curriculum, CS curriculum, we don't have that kind of a practice, right? We have to study everything by ourselves. So it is our duty that we ensure that we study the entire thing at least 2 to 3 times. That is going to increase our conceptual understanding, that is going to increase our retention, and we will be better able to write these concepts in the examination, right? So this should be our aim. If you can go for 3 readings, very good. Okay, if you can go for 4 readings, even better. But if nothing else, then at least 2 readings is compulsory. Okay, that is something we cannot ignore. Okay, otherwise how will you remember it in the examination? Now when we do these readings, no, what happens is, in the first reading, because the concept is absolutely new, we are doing the subject for the first time, the first reading takes more time. Okay, the first time you're reading a chapter, it is going to take you more time. The second time you're going to read it, it is going to consume less time, and the third time you're going to read it, it is also going to consume even lesser time, right? So based on that, we are going to create a plan for ourselves. The third very important thing is that we have to complete exam papers as well as amendments and revision test papers also, right? Now see, in the examination, there is a certain type of exam paper that comes. Okay, now if you are aware of the examination pattern, the number of questions that come, the type of questions that come, whether if they are case based questions, what is the marking system of the question, if you're aware of all of that before, if you have seen a couple of exam papers, then that is going to definitely help you in your examination. If you have simply seen some exam papers, that counts as experience. That is going to give you a strategy as to how you're going to attempt, which question you're going to attempt first, which you're going to attempt later, how much time you're going to give to different questions, etc. So doing examination papers, revision test papers, mocks, that is very crucial in your preparation. So we have to include those exam papers and mocks and revision test papers also. So this is the basic standard of performance that we should all be aiming for. Now let's just quickly make us a study plan. Okay, how we are going to actually complete all of this in this limited time period that we have. So first, let's talk about CA students who are giving one group. Okay, so one group means you have 4 subjects. Okay, now here we are standing right now in January. So you have January, February, March, and April. 4 months you have. Okay, so if you have any coaching, then try to complete the coaching by the end of January. Okay, then after that you will be having 3 months still remaining. It is very important that you dedicate at least 3 months to your self study. When we say self study, it means someone is not teaching you, you are actually doing the work, you are opening the book, you are solving the question, you are reading the concept, you are trying to remember them. Okay, so till January end, try to complete coaching. After that, let's say you are aiming to complete 3 readings. The first reading is always going to take the longest time. So let's say you give 40 days for the first reading. In that case, for every single subject, you can give 10 days to each of the subject. Okay, for the second reading, let's say you have 30 days. Okay, it is going to take comparatively less time. You can give 6 to 7 days per subject. In the third reading, you can try to complete third reading in 20 days. Try to give 4 days per subject and complete the third reading. Okay, now what all you have to do in the first reading, second reading, third reading, we are going to discuss that after the study plan. Now let's talk about those students who are giving both the groups. Both the groups means you have 8 subjects. Okay, you could be a final student or you could be an intro student. If you have 8 subjects in hand, then right now standing in January, we have 4 months to complete it. It may be possible that some of your coaching of the subjects is also remaining. In that case, along with coaching, I suggest that you also complete that subject simultaneously. Okay, so if suppose for 4 hours or 8 hours you are doing the coaching, then after that spare 3 hours or 4 hours to cover the subjects, the topics that you have completed in that day's coaching. Okay, so do the self study of that as well in the same day, so that by the time you complete the coaching, you have already studied the subject, at least the first reading. Okay, now here you have to plan in such a way that you at least do 2 readings. We know 2 readings are mandatory for us if we really want to give it a good shot in the examination. 2 readings mandatory. If possible for you, then go for 3 readings. Okay, now here, because we have 8 subjects and time is only 4 months, say you are doing only 2 readings. In that case, try to complete the first reading in 2 months, giving 7 to 8 days per subject. Okay, then after that, the remaining 2 months or 1.5 month, whatever is remaining, try to complete the second reading. Okay, so that is going to give you 5 to 6 days per subject. Also, let's say you're aiming for 3 readings. In that case, try to complete the first reading in 2 months by giving 7 days per subject, second reading in 40 days by giving 4 days per subject, and third reading in 20 days, the last 20 days, giving 2 days per subject. It is very important to note that the quality of your reading is very important compared to the number of revisions that you're doing. See, of course, if you do 3 revisions, there's nothing like it. It is a very good deal. You have a very good chance of passing the examination. Okay, but just if you're thinking that you are going to do 3 revisions, but you're actually just skimming the book, you're not properly understanding the concept, you're just doing some questions, you're leaving out concepts, you're leaving out half of the subject, then that is not going to help. Okay, so we have to very much ensure that we are studying the subject properly, conceptually, we are understanding all the points, we are trying to remember those points. Okay, we are able to answer the questions in the presentation which is required in the examination. We know the kind of question papers that come. All of that is very important. Okay, so if you are able to ensure that quality, then based on that quality, even 2 readings are more than enough. Okay, but don't just try to do 3 or 4 readings by compromising on the quality. Now for the CS and CMA students who are appearing for all the modules, you have 5 months right now as we are standing in January. Again, try to aim for 3 readings. The first reading is going to roughly take you 2 months. Okay, if you give 7 days per subject. The second reading is going to roughly give you 40 days if you give 5 days per subject. And the last reading can be completed in the last 20 days if you give 2.5 days to 3 days per subject, right? Now, if suppose your coaching is pending, try to complete all your coaching till the January end. Okay, if you're aiming for only 4 subjects, okay, in that case again you still have 5 months remaining. You have plenty of time right now, so you can complete coaching for all the subjects if you want. Try to complete it by January end or even February end, then also you will have plenty of time remaining. You can try to complete the first reading in 45 days after January by giving 10 days per subject. The second reading can be completed in 35 days by giving 6 to 7 days per subject. And lastly, in the last 20 days you can complete by giving 4 to 5 days per subject. Next important thing is which book should you refer, whether you should go for study material or whether you should go for any reference book. Well, it is completely up to you. You can go for study material also, you can go for a reference book also. But what is important is to understand that study material covers the entire syllabus and your examination is going to be based on the study material for the most part. Okay, out of syllabus questions are rare. So if you're selecting a study material, very good, kudos to you. If you're selecting any reference book, then make sure the reference book covers everything which is there in the study material. That is very, very important. Now, once you've made the selection of the book, it is very, very crucial that you stay with that one book only throughout your journey. So the first reading also, the second reading also, the third reading also, before the examination also, you have to study that one book only. Oftentimes what happens is that students, they have 2-3 books for one subject. Sometimes they're doing one chapter from 2-3 books. Sometimes they're doing different chapters from different books. Okay, at the end of their preparation, they're so confused about which chapter to do from which book. So make sure you stick to just one book. And along with that one book, we have to do the amendments also. We have to do at least 2 to 3 past exam papers. If possible for you, then also do write mock papers so as to evaluate whether you're able to complete the paper in time or not. Next thing, what should you cover in the first reading? Here your main focus should be on conceptual clarity. Okay, now a lot of your subjects are going to be theory subjects, a lot of your subjects are going to be practical subjects. Now when we talk about theory subjects, you have to select that one book, you have to open the book, you have to read every single concept, whatever your teacher has taught. Even if you have not taken the coaching, read those paragraphs, underline the key important points. If you have time, then also make shorthand notes for these concepts. Okay, now how do you make the notes for theory subjects? I have already prepared a video for that. I'm going to link it here somewhere in the I button and also in the description box below. You can check it out. Okay, so if you have time, then make notes, because these notes are going to be very, very beneficial in your second reading and third reading. It is going to be extremely crucial just before the examination, in that half day that you have. If you're able to recollect everything using only those 150 pages notes, it is going to save you a lot of time. Plus, because you write all of these things in notes form, it is a way of revision also. You remember those things a lot better. Okay, however, I do understand that writing notes takes a lot of time. So if you do not have enough time, then it's okay, don't make notes. In that case, you underline all the important points, so that the second time when you're going to read the same book, you can just simply read the underlined portion and it is going to recollect. You can recollect everything that you have studied. Okay, so that is how you have to do the first reading of a theory subject. Now what about practical subjects? See, in practical subjects, you have to make sure that you solve every single question in hand in the first reading. Okay, see, sometimes students, they simply want to audit the questions in the first reading. That is not what is recommended. If you're simply going to see the solution, then in the examination you actually have to write all of this, right? If you don't have the practice of writing, then your hand is not going to know how to write the answer in the exam hall. Okay, so it is very important to practice everything. Now in the second reading, it's not necessary you solve all the questions, you can solve some selective questions. Okay, now in the first reading for practical subjects also, it is very crucial that you mark wherever you have made mistakes. You mark the important formulas, you mark the important performers and statements that you have to prepare. Okay, for practical subjects also, there is a way of creating notes. If you can do that, it is going to definitely help you in your examination. I have also created a video relating to how to create notes for practical subjects. I'm going to link that also somewhere here in the I button and in the description box below. You can definitely check it out. It is going to be very, very helpful. Okay, so that is what you got to do in the first reading. And in the first reading, we don't have to focus on solving exam papers. Okay, now what happens in the second reading and the third reading? In the second reading and the third reading, whatever you have studied in the first reading, you will revise that. Okay, so in theory subjects, whatever underlined portion you have done in your book, or if you have created any notes, revise those notes. Okay, in the practical subjects, whatever important questions you have marked, whatever important formulas you have marked, some important questions, solve them. Okay, and revise all of that, right? Along with that, in the second reading, here you're going to take up the exam questions also. So take up exam papers. Okay, I recommend at least 2 to 3 exam papers you have to solve. If not in hand, then at least read the questions and see the solution and see whether you're able to solve these questions or not, right? The same thing you will also have to do in the third reading. So let's say you, based on your study plan, based on the study plan we have discussed, let's say we are aiming that in 1 month we are going to complete 4 subjects. Okay, so that means we are giving 1 week per subject. Now, once you come up with this kind of a weekly goal, then you also have to break that weekly goal into daily goal. Okay, on a daily basis, how much course are you going to complete so that in 1 week you're able to complete 1 subject, and accordingly in a whole month you're able to complete 4 subjects. You should be able to calculate that way. Okay, so let's say you're going to take up 1 subject in 7 days. Now let's say this subject has 12 chapters in it. Okay, so now accordingly you have to divide 12 chapters with 7 days. Now, another very important concept to remember when you're making a study plan or executing it is buffer days. See, the thing is that if we aim to complete a subject in 7 days, oftentimes because of certain circumstances, we are not able to complete it in 7 days. Plan never gets executed 100% for most of us, right? So, that is the reason why we have this concept of buffer time. Okay, whenever you make a plan for a little lesser time compared to your entire time. That means if you're thinking that you want to give 7 days to one subject, then try to plan to complete that subject in 6 days or 5 days. That way you have that one buffer day. Okay, basically we are aiming high. Okay, if you try to complete the subject in 6 days, then whatever happens, at least you will somehow complete it in 7 days, right? So try to set higher target. Another question that a lot of students ask is how many subjects they should do in a day. Now it completely depends on you. So if you keep doing same subject over a period of time, we get bored of that subject. So that is just very, very natural. If it works for you, you can do 2 subjects in a day. You can also go for one more strategy, which was my personal favorite. For 2 3 days, I used to do a theory subject. For 2 3 days, I used to do a practical subject. That is how I used to complete it. The moment you're going to start getting bored of a subject, then it is much better that you change the subject instead of trying to force yourself to do that subject. Okay, any which ways your productivity is down, right? So change the subject, mix it up. It is going to help you maintain that level of productivity. So this is how you have to create a study plan for yourself. I have tried to answer as many questions as I thought you might be having. If you have any more questions, then let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to reply to those or make a video on it. I hope this video was helpful to you. If yes, then hit that like button and let me know. Okay, I'm going to see you again in another video. Meanwhile, take care of yourself. Bye bye.